Hey, quick question before we start. I was wondering if you could wait like 15, 30 seconds before we start the video, maybe a minute. Okay, no, understand. You got enough things going on here. You don't want to wait. I get it. Even a minute, that's fine. Well, speaking of waiting, I want to be frank with you. This shift tonight, driving on food delivery platforms here in Pittsburgh on Uber Eats, really hinges around waiting. It's not going to be good. But before we do that, take a look at Don't Grill My Cheese. I've never heard of this place. This is the first order request, driving again today on Uber Eats, 11:59. Now, to get to this point, there was a little bit of waiting. And again, no one wants to wait when you're driving for any food delivery app. Because again, honestly, you have enough things going on, other things you want to do, family, friends, free time, etc., especially if you're doing this after a 9 to 5, let's say. So yeah, your time is valuable. You don't want to wait. So again, this is actually a virtual restaurant. So sometimes you'll see restaurants you've never heard of, and it is just that. It's really contracting out the space of a restaurant and turning it into a virtual kitchen. Now the problem with this one, and this was just order request number 1, was the restaurant didn't have the items to make this order. So they actually requested that I cancel this order. And remember, I already waited a little bit just to get this order request that actually paid out really fairly, I guess. But you can see here, I'm just doing the customer a favor just so they don't see a random cancellation from the driver. So yeah, just confirm with the restaurant they didn't have the items to make the order here. So I let the customer know. And of course, I canceled the order. So here we are waiting for an order in a seemingly busy market because there's surge. That's the per delivery bonus on Uber Eats. We can see maxing out at $2 and I'm in a good zone here. But this is about 15 minutes later and I'm waiting. Well, what about 9 minutes after that? And I'm still waiting. Okay, here we go. We got an order request, but I mean, look at it. It's $13.91. It's a stacked order, so this is basically two $7 orders. But look at the ETA, the time here. It should take 67 minutes for 8.6 miles. Now, I did confirm the black screen hack on Uber Eats. So what happens whenever we get that order request like this, where it is a black screen, you can't see any of the route information, you can close the Uber driver app. You can go back into it and then you can see really the very important mapping information. But still 67 minutes, we can see where it's going to take me. I didn't love the ending destination, declined. So now pretty much 30 minutes after that first cancellation, I'm still waiting. Now you could say, hey, why don't you wait in a different area? And I did drive just really slightly into this zone here because this is a power strip. There's a lot of restaurants here. And again, look at the map. I'm in a busy zone. I'm in the surge zone. There is a bonus. Now we can see it's a little bit, southeast, but keep in mind on Uber Eats, it's changing all the time. So I'm in a good zone as well. Frankly, this is very odd. And I want to ask you, how many shifts on any app, on Grubhub, on DoorDash, or on Uber Eats, how many shifts are you waiting? Now, just to give you a heads up here on wait time, generally, the time in between orders should be about a minute to 3 minutes. If you're waiting like 5 minutes, 10 minutes in between pings, obviously that's a pretty slow day. But we saw this map here, the surge, which indicates demand levels because there's extra pay here. I'm still not getting order requests. However, I am getting, here's a order at least, but they're low paying orders. This one is $7.49. Now it's decent on the dollars to mile ratio, 2.5 miles here, but 22 minutes. I frankly want higher pay because of the bonus pay, the surge pay, than this one, declined. And again, waiting in the heart of it here, now again, really continued $2 surge. But why am I getting orders like this on a $2 surge? This is $4.50 for 2 miles. It's not going to take long, but again, I'm in the heart of a really high demand area and a $4.50 order. Well, that's not all. How about a $3 order, basically? This is a 613 order, but it's a stacked order. There's 2 orders here for 613. Again, it's not going to take too long, 2.1 miles, but there's supposedly surge here, so why am I getting $3 single pay orders? Let me just back that up real quick here. So if you're in a busy zone and you're waiting and you're seeing some kind of surge pay, which is a per delivery bonus on Uber Eats, or really on peak pay on a DoorDash as well, just because there's surge pay and it's busy and you get an order request, I wouldn't take it if it's not paid well. So I will honestly, I'd rather just continue to wait and really get the pay that I expect on these bonus incentives. Because I'm waiting, and I mean, let me know if you feel the same way. Would you kind of cut the losses? Would you take lower paying order requests? Or would you wait and hopefully get orders like this? This is what I should be getting on bonus pay. It's $11.95. It's 1.9 miles, this one for treats and beans. In my opinion, if there is a $2, a $3 surge, or peak pay, those are the kind of orders that you should be getting. Really $10+ orders, and really a $3 and $4 dollars to mile ratio offers. Now I did get this one, a stacked order that was tacked on 8:51, but I didn't really love the time here for an additional 27 minutes. So that tells me that restaurant's probably backed up, especially because it's only 3.6 miles. I declined this one. But I gotta be honest, I did accept this one just 2 minutes later, and yeah, it's basically the same thing. This one at $10.32, and again, an additional 26 minutes and 3.2 miles, but I did accept this one. No, honestly, this one was ready immediately, so it didn't really take that long. I did like the extra pay on this one. So now I actually got pulled downtown, not my favorite, but I wasn't really against it if the pay would be good. And again, supposedly the marketplace is busy today. So I got this one for the Yard Gastropub at $9.87, 3.1 miles. Now, actually, I took this one hoping that the ending destination would actually pull me away from downtown. Now, here's a stacked order offer. So I got another order request for the Yard here. So $9.50 for just an additional 10 minutes and additional 1.2 miles. All right, so we finished the order in scenic Mount Washington. I highlighted that on my story. But now again, cue the really time lapse of more wait time. So 4:41, look at this map here. Now, question for you. This is really the post-work rush here, when everyone's kind of getting out of the 5 p.m. work rush. Does your marketplace do kind of the same thing, really peaking around those dinner hours? We'll take a look here, $3 peak pay right here, and just a few minutes later, we can see still hot zones here on the surge map. And a couple minutes later, now this is at $3.50 surge. Thankfully, I didn't have to wait too long because I got this order. Now, this is a stacked order. It's $21.83. It's 8.4 miles, but you can't see the entire route. So 8.4 miles, it doesn't sound too bad for a lot of marketplaces. Actually, let me know down below in the comments, what's kind of the average order distance for your marketplace? Because yeah, it doesn't sound too bad, but if we do the same kind of black screen hack from earlier, if we close the driver app quickly and go back into it, now we can see that entire route that's actually pulling me quite a bit south in my marketplace. And maybe an Easter egg, if you didn't know this, it seems that doing this, closing that app and going back in, actually reset my driver counter as far as the time to accept this order. So let me know if you've done this, if you experienced that as well. So I took this one, 1706. I mean, again, for something like this, I would have liked closer to $20 here, but the dollars to mile ratio, it's strong. The time is decent if it was a little bit shorter here, but again, accepted this one. So yeah, this is pretty unique here on this shift, is such long wait times, but also such high per delivery bonuses. But speaking of wait time, one thing that I'm not gonna have you wait for are the numbers. So this shift, it was 3 hours from 3 p.m. right into that dinner time around 6 p.m. And yeah, I told you this wasn't really a good shift here. The gross revenue per hour, $49.21. a much lower than average gross revenue per hour, $16.40. During the shift, 5 deliveries completed, 5 tips received. The tips were on par here, $5.31 average tip. The business miles, I drove 21.2 business miles, which equals a payout $2.32 per mile. That's also really on par. And for those miles, I get a tax deduction of $11.87. So if you got value in this video, definitely drop me a like, and you can also click or tap screen here for my newest video, as well as a video recommended for you, and I'll see you in the next one.